Hi everyone, and welcome to Unlimited Seating, featuring candid conversations with female role models in the workplace. I'm your host, Sanila Samuel. Today, we will be recording episode number 3, and I'm very excited to be speaking with one of the women that came to mind as soon as I picked up the courage to launch Unlimited Seating, Kelly Cole. Let me introduce Kelly before we get into the episode. So Kelly started her career as an engineering apprentice for GE Aviation in 1997 before progressing through roles in customer service and operations and then into management. While at GE Aviation, Cole achieved a first-class degree in mechanical engineering from the University of Wales as well as an MBA from Cardiff University. Early in her career, Cole developed a wealth of hands-on engineering and technical experience, including building and stripping engines and leading a manufacturing cell for printed circuit boards for flight power tiles and displays. Her next roles involved managing relationships with major airlines and growing GE Aviation's service business in multiple markets. Cole's final role at GE Aviation was leading the technical field service team, working with engineers across leading airlines to manage the fleet in service focused on fleet stability and reliability. Some key achievements include growing the Africa services market of narrow-body engines from the region with the lowest exclusive coverage to the highest, while driving services growth in Europe for the very mature engine market. Kelly Cole is currently the General Manager for Electric Power for Finning in the UK and Ireland, leading the go-to-market strategy for electric power as well as for driving profitable and sustainable revenue growth in several business areas. So let's get started with Kelly. So hey Kelly, great to see you again. I know you're just back from your 3-day cycling trip that you did for charity. So thanks a lot for making this. I've been looking forward to speaking with you. So thanks for joining us at Unlimited Seating today.
Thanks, and my cycling trip was a lot of fun. My legs are now sore, so I'm happy to be sitting down and chatting, not standing.
Cool. So hey Kelly, I want to jump right in if that's okay with you.
Definitely.
Cool. So, Kelly, I know you for a few years have watched your career in GE and seen you move to your current role as well. So, hey, looking back on your career to date, Kelly, what do you believe are the strengths and the big steps that got you to where you are today, and also any missteps along the way?
I think one of the key things is having a really strong mindset. I've always had a strong desire to learn and be better, and equally not being afraid to ask for help. So I think being very open with my desire to want to be better, learn more, has really helped me. So at the start of my career, after my apprenticeship, I wanted to go on to do my degree in mechanical engineering, and I asked you to sponsor me. Once I got my degree, I then thought, well, I want to now be more than an engineer. How can I do that? And I want to do an MBA. And equally, I asked them to sponsor me there. I think showing your desire to want to learn and be better and your commitment to yourself to grow and be better, I think that really helped me. And you're saying that in a non-direct way really helped me and demonstrate that desire to learn and be better to the leadership at that point in time.
Got it. So I like that you have a desire, but at the same time, you were not shy to ask, right? Hey, I want to do this and I'm ready to put in the time and the effort.
Exactly.
Okay, very good. So you obviously worked in a few different organizations now, right? Kelly, through your career, have you had to deal with any stereotypes, and how do you work through it?
So I think everyone has to deal with stereotypes. Unfortunately, that's the world we live in today, whether it's due to your age, your gender, or your nationality. And I think I dealt with that personally by building a very strong brand. So I moved into quite a senior commercial role at quite a young age. Everyone else in the team was literally 10 years plus older than me. So building a strong brand around my influence and skills, my negotiation skills with customer, was really important for me, and to drive the attention away from my age more to Kelly as a person rather than Kelly as the youngest person in the team or Kelly as a female. It was Kelly and known for her brand and her reputation. I think that's really important because everyone judges everyone, whether it's on what regardless of what stereotypes they can do. So building more about you as a person, I think that's what really helped me.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. And my next question was about how do you deal with being the only one in the room, right? But I think you kind of talked about it when you said, hey, how do you show all different dimensions of your personality and also the different skill sets that you bring to the table, right?
Exactly. And I'd also say, like, I'm a glass half full type person, so I always look for the positives.
Yeah.
And when I think about when I was speaking at lots of large conferences, I was often the only female. You look around the conferences, and unfortunately, there was lots of people with lots of grey hair. So being female made me stand out. So when you presented on stage and you're one of the very, very few females, it makes you stand out. And to me, that's a positive. And I think having a different approach, you've got to take the benefits of that. Having that tactics is maybe your approach will be slightly different because you're not like you're the 80% of people in the room. And again, if anything, there's pros and cons. Where there are cons, you'd understand them and understand how you can turn them into positives or neutralize them as best as you can.
Yeah, like that. It's all in the mindset, right? Kelly, I know that as you just mentioned it, right? You and I've seen that you speak at a lot of conferences. You did it in at GE, and I think you do it now as well. Can you share a bit of, hey, how do you go about it, right? And what did you gain from it? And what was it? Okay, I've seen you and interacted with you many times. You don't come across as that person who's kind of in your face. You kind of go about your stuff. You're very calm, and you're positive. So it's kind of, you're not that person who kind of gets into everything and grabs the spotlight. So how is that something that you really go out of your comfort zone to do? What is it that makes you want to be part of these kind of networks?
Oh, definitely. It's definitely not my comfort zone. So I'll let you into a secret. When I first started my role in commercial, I went from a shop floor environment to an office environment, and that was actually a very big change for me. So one of the things I recognized quite quickly, you had to be good at speaking to progress and to be seen as as a positive view in leaders' eyes. So I actually went to a speakers club, which may be called Toastmasters in other countries. But what it helped me to do was actually present in front of a group of people who just go there and just all different ages, different career profiles, and just talk about whatever topic you wanted to, and they give you feedback. So I would talk about, what I did my last weekend. They gave me feedback, well, actually, how can you make your presentation more compelling? Or how can you come across more confident? And it's got you more comfortable speaking in front of people. And then a lady in the UK I also worked with, she's actually a TV presenter, Nikki. Nikki also helped me as well and did some teaching with me how to project your voice, how to slow down so you're not rushing through, and that portrays more confidence as well. So I had lots of help along the way, but again, it's going out of your way to think, well, how can I be better? And a better version of myself, not better than someone else, but a better version of myself, and go get that training and really invest in yourself.
I love that. I can see that common theme building with you, like, trying to understand where it is that you want to get better, and then asking for help and picking the right resources, so to speak. Thanks for sharing that. I think that's something that everyone can learn from. I think I've been personally inspired by the way that you kind of put yourself in front. You're getting into these big sort of audiences, sharing your experience, but I'm sure you're coming away learning as well from each and every event that you attend.
Definitely.
So, Kelly, it's been widely acknowledged, right, that women underestimate their abilities and are less likely to put themselves forward. Can you share a time when you took a leap of faith on yourself?
So it's got to be this year, hasn't it? I completely moved industries from aviation to electrical power. And while there's similarities, it was definitely, I knew I had to take a big step, move from a company I'd grown up in to a brand new company, which is going to be a culture change, but also learn a new company, learn new industry, new customer base, new technology. So that was a leap of faith in myself to quickly get up to speed, understand the business, the technology, the customers, and obviously it impressed the new leadership team. And I've definitely never turned back and looked backwards. I've embraced the challenge. I've absolutely loved learning about the customers, learning the team, learning the business. I think one thing that made me take the leap was the leadership team at Finnin, meeting them through the recruitment process, the passion they had for the business, the team, and the inclusive culture at Finnin really helped me take the leap. And it's been absolutely fantastic.
Great. So the leap was pretty recent.
Yeah, 6 months.
Very good. So Kelly, I think you just said that your team has grown as well, right? So for you, when hiring somebody to your team, what are some key things that you look for?
So I'm currently hiring for a senior person in my team, and when I'm going through the recruitment process, I'm looking for someone with the right attitude, obviously the technical ability, but also the desire and the energy to want to be better, to want to build the team, to build the business. So it's someone with fire in their belly, the right attitude, and obviously the technical ability as well.
Okay. So, again, growing through various roles, you keep receiving feedback. There's if it's through an kind of a regular standard process in the company, or otherwise, if your manager gives you or your peers give you. What is the toughest feedback that you've received to date, and kind of how did you take it on?
So it's interesting to say, as you develop for your career, your brand needs to develop over time. So elements of your brand, which may seem super valuable in your early careers, actually needs to evolve as you become more senior leader. So being someone super focused when you're very young and driven, it is really good. But as you grow more senior, you sort of need to soften that. So yeah, you still need to be super hungry and want desire to want to be the best of your role and be super hungry for that next promotion. But you need to be more of a bigger person. So it's not just Kelly in work, you need to show more of yourself. So I guess getting that feedback, well, actually, Kelly, you're too career focused. I'm like, what do you mean I'm too career focused? I haven't changed, but you have to change, and your people's perception of you has to evolve over time. So understanding that and understanding what they really mean by that, I think was really key to me, understanding what the underlying meaning of that was and changing that. And it wasn't changing who I am, was just showing more of myself.
Oh, that's very interesting. So of all the questions that I ask my guests, this is one of my favorite ones, right? And everyone gives a different answer. Right? It's very interesting to kind of understand the feedback that people get and how they respond to it. But the one thing I see in common, and just like what you said, is taking that feedback, right? Reflecting on it, seeing which parts are useful, but not changing your personality or your values, but taking it in a way and using it that's, saying, okay, maybe there's some sense in it, and there's some things that I can work on without losing my core self. So this is one of my favorite lessons, and I think your experience and your feedback that you got is it's very interesting. You're too ambitious. That's a good one. The one thing that I really like that you do, and you've done really well over the last few years, is you mentioned branding, right? And I've heard more from your team and from different colleagues in the organization that you're a very strong leader, right? Great leadership skills. You really care for your team. You care for the development and growth of your team. And so that's one part of your brand, right? And then the other piece that I see you do well I include the conferences and all that, is how you portray yourself on LinkedIn, right? You're talking about your business, you're talking about the products for your business, whether it was aviation or now it's finning. And I love how you brought these different aspects of your brand, and you share it with the world, right? So people have kind of the same perception of your brand, which I think is the testament to how you say, you stay true to yourself. So
Exactly.
I think that's really good. Great. Um, so I think I shared the McKinsey report with you on women in the workplace from last year, where it says that women are often held to higher performance standards than men, and this can lead to more pressure at work. You want to work more, provide additional evidence of your competence. Is this something, Kelly, you can relate to? Any best practices from your experience and how you worked through it?
So I think there's elements of the report which I think is true. And I think back to your question on stereotyping, I think that is there. And I think people get stereotyped at different reasons, whether it's age, gender, or nationality. So I think that's there. I think things that the report touches upon as well about women not speaking up enough, not promoting themselves enough. And I think it's more about finding how you do that in the right way. So, like going back to the point I made earlier, when people say, "Well, you're too career focused." Well, how do you show your driving results and delivering results instead of showing how I'm doing it? How do you promote that for your team? How you're doing that? How you build and develop others? So I think it's about guys can do that in different ways, which is seen as socially more acceptable at the moment. And I think it's going back to being pros and cons. If you're a female, what the pros and cons of that are, and how do you push that forward in the right way, which lands with the receiver in the way that they're comfortable receiving that information. Otherwise, it can be received in the wrong way. But I do think there's elements of that report are right, that women are held to high standards. I think men do a great job. And again, I'm stereotyping, which is not really fair. But I've seen men often do a really good job of pushing themselves forward. All the research shows if there's so many things in a job advert, the guy can do half of them, he put herself forward, where a woman would hold herself back. So I think it's true, and it's not the men's fault. You can argue if someone's not pushing themselves forward, how do you help them get more confidence in themselves to communicate their achievements in a way that they're comfortable with, and which sits with the listener in the right way? How do you give them confidence to take that leap of faith, and to bet on themselves effectively? So I think that report has truths in it. I don't think it's a fault of either or. It's the person actually believing in themselves and pushing themselves forward and communicating the right way about their achievements, which is tough, isn't it?
Yeah, it is tough. And I think it just comes from a lot of conditioning, how you were, even what you've seen growing up as well. So I think it's a tough thing. So one thing that I can pick up, right, going through your career and experience and how you've gone about it. I think some key tips that could help address this area is, right, okay, you identified the skills, you asked for help, went about developing them, put in the effort, obviously, but then you took parts of feedback, worked on it, but then continued to build, and I won't say just build, I almost want to say like market it, put it out there, your brand, right? And I think all of that, they're useful tips for women to pick up, women who are trying to grow in their career. I think those are really useful tips to pick up. So no, thanks for sharing that, Kelly.
And I think people think about communicating in different ways. So you touched upon LinkedIn, you touched upon things within my team, but you can think about, how do I communicate to different stakeholders and different methods? So one can be verbally, one can be through another form of communication, one can be through internal comms, and one can be through external comms. So you think about your brand and as you develop that, people should think about all the stakeholders and how they can communicate in different ways. And I think that's what people don't always think about. And I think back to my last team in GE, when we were to think about how the team are in region away from HQ, how do we build their brand? How do we share what they're doing in the region, remotely back to headquarters, through different forums? It can be for myself saying stuff as their leader, or internal comms or various other methods. And I think that people doing it that way, and especially females, might find that far more comfortable.
Yeah, I agree. Um, so, Kelly, what are some actions you think that you're already taking or that we can take, right, that would help provide more opportunities for more women to enter and then also grow in our workplaces?
So I think we've got a responsibility to make sure the environment we build in the workplace is inclusive, an environment where they think they can be the best version of themselves, and really help them through coaching, through mentoring, or just providing support. So maybe talk through our own experiences, how we overcome challenges, and equally show that actually it's not just you, everyone has these same challenges, whether you're male or female, everyone has insecurities, everyone questions their ability, there's lots of people who like to be very vocal and share things, others that don't.
Yeah.
That's not just a gender thing, that's a personality thing as well. So how do we provide an environment which makes people feel comfortable and be the best version of themselves?
Okay. Can you share a couple of like practices that you follow that help kind of foster that environment? About like, so you mentioned coaching as one. Anything else that you can share with our audience?
So coaching, helping people actually build a development plan, I think that's really key. Think about where you want to grow and develop and how you can do that. Giving people opportunities to do that, and equally sharing different people's successes, whether at town hall, sharing and showing people progressing. So my last town hall, we shared promotions in with the team, and it was a male and female both being promoted. Did a show actually, and when I present in my town hall, I have a mixture of people talking, presenting, giving people the opportunity to present, but also showing it's a diverse team presenting as well. And I think that gives everyone the opportunity, and actually reaching out and asking people, will you do this for me, and giving them the opportunity to do a project or take the lead in something.
Yeah. So Kelly, where do you see yourself next in your journey? How do you kind of see the next, say, 10 plus years for you?
So I guess short term, I already stopped my own.
That's why I kind of extended the
I'd like to grow in that further, very much expanding into new technologies. That's what I see in the near term, and then very much progressing that to bigger GM roles, the bigger revenue targets or growth targets, and eventually getting to be the head of in the UK and Ireland, so an MD role.
Great. I've seen you in action, Kelly. I've no doubt you're going to get to wherever you are aiming for.
Yes.
Cool. So, hey, we're kind of done with the main set of questions, Kelly. So we're going to head into rapid fire now. So, are you ready for it?
I'm ready.
Great. Okay. So, Kelly, your idea of a perfect holiday?
Sailing around an island or watching wildlife.
Okay. Okay. What's your favorite morning routine?
So either taking Bumblebee and Shrek for a walk, my two dogs,
okay,
or hitting a weight session in the gym.
Okay.
The active morning, definitely.
Your answers don't surprise me. So what is it, Kelly, that keeps you going through the tough times?
So I'm a very competitive person, so it's very much a desire to be better.
Okay. Now, I've had this conversation with you, so I can't really identify any clutch words, but do you have any clutch words that you keep using in conversations or presentations?
I don't think so. I don't like to use too much buzzword bingo, to be honest. I to keep it more simple.
So what's the one thing about you that would surprise people you work with?
So I'm not sure if this will surprise people, but on Monday I actually passed my motorbike test. So I'm now fully licensed to drive a motorbike. No engine limit. So it's shopping next weekend.
Wow. That's very good. You have a motorbike?
Well, I learn a 10125, so now I'm going to upgrade. Now I have my new license.
Excellent.
So we go in motorbike shopping next weekend.
Okay, so next is a 5-day motorbike trip.
Exactly.
Okay, so Kelly, one learning, right, that you want to pass on to women in the workplace, wherever they are in their careers.
So someone told me this. Someone shared this with me recently. Don't predict the answer. So some people won't ask for help because they expect a no. Don't predict the answer. Go and ask.
Yeah, that's a good one. We all have suffered from that assumption at some point or the other. I know you read a lot. So what are you reading or listening to right now?
Oh, so I've just had a new book delivered, which is called Emotional Agility by Susan David. Literally it's been delivered by Amazon when I was on my bike ride, so I'll be starting that very soon.
Okay, I've heard of it. I think I've read snippets. I think I follow Susan David on LinkedIn as well, so that's a good one.
Yeah, she's really good, isn't she? I've seen her on LinkedIn as well.
Yeah. So I'll be sure to pick it up. I switched to a Kindle completely because, as you can see, my study is full of books and we just don't have any space.
Yeah, good idea.
So I think I know the answer to this question, Kelly. What gets you out of bed in the morning?
I love the challenge. Absolutely love it. So that was what's keep me going without a doubt.
Excellent. Kelly, thank you so much. I've always enjoyed chatting with you. And thank you again for taking the time for this. Some really good insights there. Thank you for sharing your experience and how you've thought about your career. And all the best to you. And it's 6 months at Finning. I'm sure you're going to be there and keep growing. All the best. And thanks a lot.
Thank you very much. And talk to you soon.
Absolutely. Bye, Kelly.
Bye-bye.